Hey, everybody. So first, manipulation and the word of the day is window dressing. Let me explain. It's the last day of the third quarter. So banks, all these funds have to submit their books and their records to their investors showing their current position. So the term window dressing comes up. You make something that's ugly look extremely nice and attractive for the fourth quarter. Or the word staging comes up when you make an empty house or an empty apartment look nice so that you could sell it. This is what the institutions do. They manipulate their books. They take the bad things, okay? They take them off the books. They add the good things. So if they had Tesla, they're leaving it. D-Dog, NVIDIA, they're leaving it. If you had beat up stocks, and I'm going to mention a few, they want them on the fourth quarter. So when I tell you to tune in, listen to the stocks I'm talking about, right? Stocks like Snow. Snow will go up in the fourth quarter. You've heard it here. Jumia was $18 today. I don't know where it finished, but I think it was pushing like 19 or something like that. So it went up. CrowdStrike, another one that they want to have on their books. Okay, debt ceiling real quick. If the debt ceiling is not increased, and again, all they did is put a Band-Aid on it, 6 million people will be furloughed, meaning they will lose their job. Interest rates will spike, meaning your car loan payments will spike, your home loan payments will spike, your credit card payments will spike. And this will happen seemingly overnight, okay? So again, they put a Band-Aid on it. Now, here's how it gets worse. The progressive Democrats are now saying they will not sign off on the infrastructure bill until the spending bill gets passed. But wait, I thought the spending bill had to go behind the infrastructure bill. I don't know. What a mess. Now, I'm going to tell you who's playing the mess. A large institution took a huge gamble, multi-million dollars, thinking that the market could potentially drop 20%. Now, it's not a bet. It's probably a huge hedge that if the market falls off, they will be safeguarded and limit their losses. But to me, it's a huge bet because I see them probably wasting money. Now, lastly, before I introduce our guest, Love, AMC. Oh, it moved today. It moved 10%. I saw it moving around $35. I sent out an alert, and boom, I think it actually crossed $41. So this is the warning to Citadel. If you are watching, tread extremely lightly. There are more apes than you think or know out there, and they're putting the plan together, and AMC will be going higher. Again, my price target on AMC is $56, so I don't care if it moves there in one day or a week. That's where I think it's going. All right, so let's welcome Love, who's joined me before the live stream. She's got some interesting stories she wants to share. And hey, Love, how you doing? So we're going to let everybody ask some questions, but first, I said to Love, hey, Love, I know you have two small accounts. You had a small account with like $80, I think you started, and a larger account that you had like worked it down to 800. Then it was up to like 40,000. I said, where's it at now? Please update me. So that's what we're going to start with. Please update us on your large account. What's it worth?
So my large account is at zero right now.
Zero.
It's at zero. Okay. It is at zero. And that's because I took everything out. I started over. So I took all the money out and then I put like $1,000 in to start over.
Okay, so there's a lesson right there. Now, it didn't come from me. It came from Love. I said to her, what'd you do? And she said, I took all the money out. I said, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So if you could be riskier, you could attempt to blow up your account, even though no one wants to do that. But if she took a few thousand, turned it to 50, took out the 50, started again with one, I think she's up to like 5,000 in her account now. If she blew up her account, she would probably be devastated, but she would say, I will start again.
Yeah. And so today I thought I had it all under control. And it was going to be a huge day for my small account. I was like, we're going to look at 10,000, but it closed at around 53, which is, it's grown. It's grown from like, I think I had 1,300 starting this week. So it did what it was supposed to do.
Okay. And how much did you have to start that account originally? Because I thought you had like 800 to start that account.
Yeah. When I blew up my account, like the first
you did something magnificent, and you said, "Oh my God! If I had done that move in my large account, I would have just made 80,000. Instead, I did it in my small account, and I just made like 800." You did something like that one day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's so right."
This is true. I had a couple moves this week. I, as a trader, especially a novice, this year. You couldn't lose if you were trading in like January, February. And then we got hit hard and we had to really learn lessons. And so I started to learn more about looking at demand, looking at volume, short interest, and try to read trends. And so once I started my small account over to $1,000, I actually gave myself different goals. So one goal was to be green every day. So that meant that technically I would probably have to take smaller profits.
That's pretty hard, just so you
Yeah.
know. I mean, we all have that goal. We all like to be green every day. It doesn't always work out. Quick question. When you look for short interest or other things, are you using a specific tool, or is this something that the public could do on their phone like you and I do?
So I'm cheap. So I don't. I'm not going to spend the money for some service or something.
Okay.
There's actually people on Webull that if you're really nice to them, you ask them to post the short interest, they will. There's this one guy that I know that does every day. And so I noticed that he kept doing that. And I asked, what is this? He was like, it's open short interest for the end of the day. And it's got a little log. And so I started to watch certain stocks like Tesla, Netflix, things like that.
Sure.
And started to look for trends. And I noticed earlier this week that Netflix had a huge short interest open and they were starting to cover. And so I got some like really out of the money calls and they ended up going like 300%. And so that's what helped to grow my small account this week. And I tried to keep doing that. So my secondary goal.
Wait, just to recap. So you found somebody in a public setting who just would update the short list and the volume. So you just would notice, hey, somebody was short 20 million shares and now they're short 16 million. So they're buying back their position. I'm just saying this for everybody else because everybody needs an idea of where to find their next stock. So if you want to look at a short list, say you subscribe to Fintel or another service, they will list the short list. I think you could probably find it online, but I'm not sure how accurate it is under marketwatch.com /short list, either short something.
Google it. Sometimes it won't tell you the short interest. It might tell you the short volume, but that's free. You can Google
and
that.
then maybe you take a notebook and you write down maybe 10 of them, how much was short on Thursday. And then you look on Friday and you're like, oh, shoot, somebody, I mean, very easy, right? You could just take a notebook or something or your laptop, use an Excel spreadsheet. I like to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. I like that idea. I've never used that idea. I only look at short interest when I'm buying a company, stock.
That's true. And then my stretch goal was I was joking with the lifetime members chat and I said, you know what, if I can average like $1,000 to $2,000 a day, I'd make over $300,000 a year, right? And I was like, dude, I could do that. I think I can do it.
Okay, so the goal went from making just green every day, and now instead of just green, we need to make $1,000 a day. All right, yeah. Let's stretch it out. $2,000 a day. If somebody could do it, I'm sure it will be love. And I will. It
was working. It was working this week. It was working. And then I think I had 2 straight days of like 1,500. Okay. And my small account, which was like not a huge.
I got you.
Backwards a little bit, like 700 red one day. I think it was Tuesday, maybe. I can't remember which day this week it was. But then today I thought for sure I had it under control, that I knew the direction of the market and I didn't. And so it did grow. We're still at like 5,000 or 53. I might have to check, but let's see.
Hey, I just bring up a point. So everybody saw how frugal she was when I said, where do you get your short interest? And she said, I'm not paying for that. But yet, Love is a lifetime member. So somebody definitely sees value.
That's true.
Listen, I wouldn't be me if I didn't point that out. By the way, everybody, since we haven't mentioned, please, under Love's Beautiful Smile, you can subscribe, you can hit the like button, and you can hit the bell. And for the 7 people that went out yesterday and kicked cats and told me that they don't love their country, that they were just teasing me after the fact they reached out to see if I would get angry at something like that, that's extremely funny because I just thought, how silly. But please, subscribe. We've got a lot of good content coming. All right, Love, please continue on. I love your stories.
Okay, so that is the goal. Obviously, it's impossible. I'm not even going to act like it is, but it's a stretch goal because some days I noticed when I was growing my small account the first time, like when I blew it up and I had to start with like $856, I noticed that I would have some days where, I don't know, I would find stocks that would grow like 100, 200%. I can catch those type of things, but I wasn't investing enough in them and I was letting them ride up and down. And so I was saying that if I could do that, right, then why not just take the profit, make that a green day. And if it's over $1,500, I make that day, I'm out, right? That's it.
And just tell everybody, trading is not your real job. Your real job is.
I am a professor, so that's what I do. I teach auditing, accounting.
Okay, excellent.
I had like 1 million student visits today. That's why I'm so tired looking.
And they interrupted your trading.
I
Do they
know.
know how into day trading you are, or not really? Do you ever share stories with your students?
Not about trading. No,
No.
I do share a lot of stories though.
Okay.
But I don't day trade, Matt. I don't.
No, I understand. Okay, day plan. Sometimes
Yeah.
you day plan because if you bought something and somebody gives you twice as much money, you would sell it, correct?
I would use a day trade for that. But
Okay.
one of the things that I wish that I could, again, my account's kind of small. And if you have a cash account, you can do it, which I do have some. But for some reason, I'm more successful in a certain account. And I don't day trade in that one. So I have to swing trade. So all of my
we don't mention the hood, do we now?
Right.
Oh,
No.
okay, excellent.
That's why they're in the news now. So now I definitely have to make sure that I pick things that I'm confident enough that I can hold them. Like, but if, for instance, like I bought Tesla today, and if it decided it wanted to like skyrocket, I would have absolutely sold that very quickly. Or if I would have gotten an AMC today and like at the low,
You would have sold it 41. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, went to 41, didn't it? Went right to 41, you sell there, then you buy back at 38. Again.
But I do plan on, like, after listening to you and Larry, I am definitely getting some AMC leaps. I hope to buy at the bottom.
The options route. Okay, just to come full transparency, today was my first ever purchase of AMC stock. I've never purchased AMC stock before. I've been in options, and I sold before.
Are you an ape now? Are you officially an ape, or are you just?
I'm so far from an ape. It's not even funny because I actually sold when it went past 41, and I was thinking I was going to re-enter, and I still haven't. So I don't own any right now. It was a decent sized position. I bought it just what was it, $35 and like 10 or 11 cents, or maybe 10 and 11 cents, and I sold it just north of $40. I didn't even wait till 41. I saw it $5 profit. And I had just over a couple of thousand shares.
You think that it is going to go to 58, right? You said that you do think that it's going to go to 58. So it's not.
No, I think no. Larry said he Stock Up with Larry Jones says it's going to 58. I disagree. I only think it's going to 56. Okay. So we have that discrepancy there. But I'm sure everybody that is an AMC would be happy. And I was looking at the chart. So the pullback surprised me, but not really, because if you looked at the Dow, it went down, like 500 points. It went up a little. It dropped 400 points. And then today it was about, I don't know, crazy. Hey, if you're new to AMC, 30s are a good loading zone. Yes.
I think I agree with that. Like, I was hoping to get in around 33-ish, but if it can get to even lower than that, I'll take it.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
What stocks are you apish about? Like, are you an ape for like anything, or is it just like, nah, I'm not?
No, I used to hold stocks. I did post all of my current stock holdings today to the platform, but there were none that I was just gung-ho crazy about. I do have a couple thousand shares of this, couple thousand, and I'll take my 10% or my 12% and get out, because understand, that's what the banks do. So when we talk about trading, there's no buying and holding till infinity. Banks are in. If they can make like 11% in an entire year, people are going to give them money. All right. Yeah. So if they can make 11% in a stock, and I mentioned a couple of stocks yesterday and the day before, one of them was, I remember CCJ yesterday, because I told Carlos the other day when it was at $20, I said, oh man, if I can get it under $20, I'd be so happy. So yesterday I was like, it's at $20.50. I will be buying at $20.50. My purchase went off this morning. It dropped under $20.50. Maybe it was like $20.40, $21.40. And then it spiked all the way to $22. So that made me like 6% in one day. Hey, don't mind me asking, change your heart, AMC. Okay, here it is. Movies are coming out. The Delta variant is getting less. AMC is getting more creative. They're now playing UFC fights, football games. They're now offering free tickets to get you in the movie theaters. When you go to the movie theaters, they're not making money from the ticket sales. They are making money from the popcorn, the candy, and the soda. So as long as they keep filling the seats, that's what works for AMC. Other than that, I'm a chartist, and I looked at the chart, and 56, as long as the apes do their part, seems extremely doable, and it seems doable by January. There seems to be enough good news and enough movies on the horizon where I might even go to see to the theater. Have you been to the theater yet?
No.
No. Have you watched movies on your TV, like paid for it, like $20?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I paid $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't tell my wife though. I was like, "What are
You're
you
like,
watching?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I didn't pay $20
I
for
didn't pay
this."
for that. It
Yeah,
was
not at all.
I don't even know what you're talking about. It was crazy.
All right, sweet. So let's get some questions. How about that?
Yeah, we can
I'm
do
sure people have
questions.
questions for you.
Absolutely. But if anybody's wondering, there is one stock that I'm apish about. But if you know me, you know what it is. Like, we already know
I
it.
didn't ask, but I will ask after this, and then you might have to explain why. All right, thoughts on Lucid going up or down in October? I started buying Lucid when it was 17. I'm bullish because it's the other day. Okay, so I don't know, Braveheart. I don't know if you're a lifetime member, but my lifetime member people, man, they love to talk about Lucid. So I haven't actually looked at the chart because everything they say is so positive. I think I want to buy a Lucid car. I mean, no doubt. Oh, there it was Lucid. I don't know.
The lifetime members love Lucid, like legit. They do all this due diligence on it, and it's like, I guess it's going to the moon. I'm gonna have to invest too.
Yeah, it's almost like we had an analyst there because he's dropping numbers about how many cars they're delivering and this and that. Now I'm looking at the chart, and I'm just looking at the 1 month chart, and they've been selling for the past 3 days. And guess what? The stock hasn't gone down. It's still over 25, almost $25.50. That's an extremely strong sign. When you have weak hands and people are selling the stock because they're like, the market's going to throw up, the market's going to collapse, the sky is falling, and the stock stays there, that's great. I saw that in Win Casino. I mentioned it yesterday. Those options for December were like $7. Now they're over $8. So 15% is a little something. My average is just under $7.40. So I'm up about 10%. But what do you think about Lucid?
I like Lucid, and I think that it has potential to like grow. The only thing that worries me, again, I'm not a technical type person, is that I also look at the like institutions, like what they buy, the large buys, and I see large outflows, but I don't see large like inflows. And so I would have to watch it a little bit more. But I probably would buy some leaps for like $40. I'm not getting like, I'd be like,
listen, it makes sense to me. And I'm going to explain the psychology of trading. You know why you're not seeing any large inflows? Let's say you work for a bank and you make a huge Lucid purchase, 500,000 shares. And then the debt ceiling, they have a problem in Congress, and your bank already gave warnings out, and you just put $80 million into this stock, and now it's worth 30% less, and you just lost $30 million. Guess what your job is the next day? Yes, come on. Just humor me.
The janitor. I don't know.
It's like, something like that, because you're not working at the bank anymore. When they're like, hey, everybody, Eric bought like 290,000 shares of Lucid. Oh, man, we love Lucid. And then the market falls the next day by 10%, and he's trying to get out of 290,000 shares, and it's dropping, and he's trying to sell it. Not that it's going to happen, but people on Wall Street can't do that. People at hedge funds, you can't even do that. If you have an idea to drop 80 million, 40 million on a company like Lucid, you've got to get the background. You've got to know who the shareholders are. You have to know why their position is as strong as they are, so no one can surprise you by selling a block of shares, forcing the stock down, forcing somebody else to force a block down. Then it becomes shorted. I mean, people get in trouble. So they're all interconnected. All those hedge funds and Citadel and Square and K2 Partners. And, man, there's so many names for hedge funds. What would you call your hedge fund, Love?
I would probably call it something that nobody would think that that's what it is.
I know. What would you call it? Get creative on me.
I would call it a cave.
A cave?
A cave.
Love cave?
No. Technically, it would be a bear cave, but
the bear cave.
Yeah,
I like that.
Right, and then
I never thought because I would never do that. Mm-hmm. I realized, and I would love to be the guy, not the magician, but the guy that points out how they do the tricks. So he actually had it there, and then
you're gonna expose them. You're like,
yeah, I'm going to expose them. Even the really cool ones, I'm going to expose them. Yeah, most of them have body doubles when they disappear and then they reappear one place. Guy's a double. It's crazy. David Copperfield, David Blaine.
You're like,
you want me to expose David Blaine?
It's more like magician.
Oh, here you go. Jizzy's asking you. What about MSTR? Talk it away, Love.
Okay, so yes, that is the one that I am an ape for, right? But I have to have a strategy about buying that. And so I was looking for MSTR to come down at 565, and it did. And I bought some options a month out, at like at least 4 weeks, and then 8 weeks out. Well, today I thought it was going to be weird. Bitcoin was spiking for no reason. It was going down. I want to still get more on sale. And so I actually sold the one that I bought yesterday for 8 weeks out because it was profitable. I'm like, I can buy it a little bit cheaper. And so my goal is to stock up. I would like to get some November and December calls in MSTR, because I do believe that Bitcoin has to go down just a little bit before and retest before it can kind of do its thing. And I like it.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because I want to put it in perspective, because I don't know the answer. So when I don't know the answer to something, I love to ask a question. So you had one MSTR contract. You said you made profit on it. So first, how much profit did you make on it?
$300.
$300. Okay. How much did it cost you?
It cost me $1,500.
Okay, so you bought it for $1,500. You sold it for $1,800. You made 20%. I was curious, okay, because you could have told me $10 profit, and profit is profit. It doesn't matter. Wouldn't have surprised me if you told me $1,000 profit, because I know those options are damn expensive. Wouldn't have surprised me if you told me you spent $3,500 on that option contract. So I just wanted to.
It was out of the money, and it was 20% away. But I also had some that was for 4 weeks away, and those didn't move. And so one that was farther out of the money, farther out, did. And I was like, that's unusual. So I'm selling.
That's great information too. But this is for everybody else, because we know that maybe you've talked some people into playing that that option play. So as long as you get in cheap, now we just found out on days like today where you're not getting the right movement, you'd be content with 20%. So if somebody else buys in for $2,500 and they got a good price because it was 26, someone sold it from 25, they can say, okay, Love made 20%. Let me just, for shits and giggles, put it for $3,000, grab that 500, turn off my computer for days like today. And if it hits, you just made $500 in one day.
Yeah, in one day. And that was the original strategy. The strategy was try to buy low, get my full position. So I knew how many total contracts I wanted, right? And I knew that I wanted a buying strategy that allowed me to have 1 foot in case it skyrocketed, but to also, if it dipped lower, I could take advantage of it without overpaying.
Right.
But the fact that it skyrocketed when I expected it to go down was unusual. So I sold it and said, I know that I can buy this cheaper. Why not take the profit, use that, and buy it cheaper?
Okay, and a quick question. How far out of the money? So if you paid $1,500 for an option that had some good time on it, I'm knowing that you didn't get it in the money because it would have been so much. So please, just because I see a question here, what strike price? So please share with people, the stock was at $590, and your strike price months out, or a month out at least, was XYZ 700, let's say, or whatever it could be.
My strike price for the 1015s was $690.
Okay, so your strike price was $690 and 1015, so that's 2 weeks out basically, or a little under.
Yeah. And that was because I expected it to go to at least 700 by then. Right. And so I needed to pay under $1,000 for that contract.
Gotcha. And where's the stock at now? I don't know.
I think it's at like 570.
Okay, 570. But it could move 100 points in one day, because we've seen that happen before when Bitcoin spiked. No, it can't. Can't move.
No, it can. I agree.
Oh, it can. Okay. I don't know. You're an expert. I don't know. All right. So
and then my other strike price for the one that I sold today for $300 was $750.
Okay, so that one was out because it had more time on it, as you said. Okay, that makes sense. So again, you did what you can afford. You thought $1,500 was a fair value. It was probably what was it like? Probably 16 and change when you bought it. Like the bid was 1,600 and you bid like 15.
Oh yeah, I think it was 1,710.
1,700. So that's another bit of information. When we're giving people information, we're telling them the stock, the strike, how your mind works with this stock. And then when you're looking at an option, it's 1,700, or even let's say 1,800, and you say to yourself, that's the bid. I'm going to put my bid $250 under it. So that way, at least if you get it for like $1,550, at least 20 other suckers got it for $1,680, $1,710. I mean, it makes me feel better too. Even if I'm down 8%, I'm like, at least that wasn't that one guy who bought like 1,000 contracts 20% higher. Jeez.
So you notice that for that one contract, the bid was at $1,800. I bought it for $1,500, but the next day I sold it for $1,800, right? Because I knew I could do that, right? If I needed to and buy it down a little bit cheaper. But I always have a strategy when it comes to that. I didn't just pick these out of the money like targets arbitrarily. I realistically believe that it would be over that price by the time it got there.
Now that's true for a lot. Say you just see any other option that you're looking at. Let's just out of the blue, a square option, and it's like $240 is the bid, and you say I would pay $1.50 for it, and it gets struck to $1.50. A lot of times, I will just go back and be like, when I put in my bid for $1.50, I saw it was $2.40 at the time. That's what I'm going to ask for. So that sometimes I come up and I'm like, okay, it's selling for $300. I'll buy it for $200. So I put in $200, and I say to myself, if it goes for $200, I know it's at $300 right now, so it's a possibility. So that's how I pick a lot of my exits. I'm like, it's there. I get it on sale.
So you guys, I don't want you guys to think that everything I pick is perfect. It's not. I'm also a Tesla ape, right? It's like one of the riskiest things I can play, but I feel as though I have to, it's my stock. And so with Tesla, if you know it, you know that it's risky either way. Like, let's be honest, because people love it.
You want to see Tesla go up? I'll tell you how Tesla's going to go up. Watch. Ask me my opinion on Tesla.
What's your opinion on Tesla?
I think it's probably overrated and overpriced right now. And it amazes me that it's holding so strong and that there's so much demand. And there is a lot of demand. But I know Kathy sold a huge position.
Yeah.
I know, what's his name? Patwash.
That guy that faked everybody out. He was like, hold your shares.
Huge position too. But the point is, everything else is getting beat up, right? So other stocks are down 5%.
Oh, yeah.
In that time, Tesla moved 10% higher. The markets are beat up. Tesla's going up.
I love Tesla.
I get it. So I'm telling you, you want Tesla to go up, all I need to do is say, I really don't like Tesla. And it'll show up, because usually when I say I really like something, it tends to drop. And there was a stock today that I liked, and it was, see, I'm transparent. I'm down like probably 10% on it, or no, less, because I bought some more. IRNT. I think it could pop to $24. I think I bought it at $20 this morning. I think it went down to like 16 and change, meaning I was down like 17%. When it popped back to 15%, I bought more, and now I'm down like, I think 7.5%. So I'm still down on that one, but that's one of the ones, and my timing's off on these. So I'll tell you a couple.
You bought options though?
No, I bought stock. Okay. But these are IRNT. I have like 100 shares. It's not killer. I was in like $2,000. Okay, so that's a stock.
Why?
Right? Be big is a stock like that.
I had to pick up on that one. It was getting on my nerves.
Yeah, no. But these are all stocks that if you're frustrated, it just takes one day to spike. So that's what I'm gonna say to people. Like, there are stocks out there that have been mentioned, not by myself, but like other gurus. If there's stocks that are meme stocks like that, just hold your horses. Like Alf. Alf took forever. I don't even know Alf. I don't like Alf life insurance, something like that. But it finally spiked. So they all come to fruition. Okay, it happens.
You just have to be patient. That's true on every side. Like even with me with buying MSTR, sometimes I have to wait like weeks, maybe even a month or two. It's like it has to be right. It's my money. I don't have a lot of it. Somebody asked about Ride.
Yes.
Didn't you like?
What do you think about Ride? I haven't looked at Ride in a long time.
I know
Ride is Lordstown Motors.
With
now,
they had a factory in Ohio or something like that.
Did they sell the factory, or was that the other workhorse that sold it? Let's see. Was it Ride that sold their factory?
I thought they did.
Yes, it was Ride that sold their factory.
Yeah,
okay,
it was in Ohio.
Chart. I mean, there's been heavy buying since $6. So I mean, and we got in. I remember I played that option. It went from $6 to $6.60, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I just made 40% of my Ride options. I called it my lotto play. I think it was a couple of Fridays back. Yeah, Ride's been moving pretty strong. It's a nice looking chart. It was strong today.
It's not bad.
But there was volume. I mean, two out of the last 10, 11 days were off days, selling days. The other 9 days were inflow days, and today was 3 times the volume, which is usually 9 million. It was 31 million today. That's a very strong sign for this stock. I'm looking at the 3-month. Now, I would get worried. It's at 7.98 right now. Yeah. So the person that asked about Ride, I would start getting worried at $9.08. $9.09. I want out. I want to secure profit. Up until that, I think you might get some type of spike right past $9 for that.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I were to get in this, I'd probably buy some $9 calls a little bit out.
Okay.
And that would be my target.
Yeah, that would be the same with like Mr. for you. If you go out to November and it hits 9, even that's the ceiling. If it goes to 9 sometime in the next week or two, your options will probably go up, like 50 or 60 or maybe even 70%.
I'm good
Yeah,
with that
it's a good strategy. You're giving yourself more than enough time. Ooh, thoughts on Tesla? Tried to break 793 times today, but failed. It closed at
Really did.
755. No,
Did
it
it?
did.
Whoa, come on. That might have
No,
been like some
I didn't see it close at 755. Did it really?
No,
The
no,
market
it's
got what,
775. That might have been a typo.
775. Okay, because I would have believed that. It wouldn't have shocked me.
Like what?
But I mean, there's outflow today.
I don't know. I thought that they're hoping that their third quarter numbers can be really strong. They think the fourth quarter is going to be really strong. So I think that there's going to be a pop before a drop for Tesla.
Okay. Yeah. So my way of looking at it, I always have two ways to look at it. Like if you're playing a chess game, you have two moves. So the move right here is if it consolidates, it could go down to $759 or $758. And I'm usually a little high in that. So maybe 755 is the right number. That's if it consolidates on the way down. Now, if it goes back on the way up and say it pops tomorrow off some good news in the Senate, it's definitely clearing 803, 802. So that's the number I'd be looking for on the upside. So literally, the way the market is the way the market is so violent right now, I might actually look 2 months out, 3 months out, and go for some 750s and some 800s. And whichever pop you get, you claim profit, and then you figure out what to do with the other ones because you have 3 months left.
True.
I've never done that.
Disclosure with Tesla. I'll tell you guys that I actually technically in my account right now have 101 Tesla options. I kid you not, 101.
You have 101.
I have 101 Tesla options. I'll let you guys know what it turns out to be.
Are they call spreads?
No, they are really cheap. Well, I guess
you have Tesla at 2,000 like a year from now, 3,000,
no, for
8,000. You're smiling. What? Tesla at $1 million. I'll sell you those options for $1 a contract.
I'll tell you what happened. I had earlier this week. I had bought 825 for next week, and I bought an 825 for this week, and they popped. So I sold the one for next week, and the one for this week just kept getting cheaper, and so I ended up buying 101. So if that contract goes to like 50 cents, which is what it was today,
right?
Much lower than that, then I make a buttload of money because my average is way lower than that.
So if Tesla has an inflow, okay, so let me just
So if it goes to like 790,
it touches 800 at some point tomorrow. It touches 800.
Yeah,
touches 800. Your buttload is just full of money. Is that what we're saying? Okay.
If it goes to 790, I'm probably selling.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
And this is all seriousness. I would love for one of my videos to go viral. So if your butt somehow loads up with money, you just snap it and put it on, and we'll shoot it on the video here. And then I've never seen a butt go.
No. Butt load. It's a hashtag now.
All right. Well, what do you think about infrastructure and the SPY?
Yikes. I did not play the SPY today. The infrastructure bill, I am very doubtful on. I don't think Congress has it in them to do anything right now. So I am I'm not there with either.
Yeah, we won't get political. Carlos, remove that. I'm going to talk about the SPY real quick because it talks about the psychology of trading, okay? Because I saw somebody on our platform mention SPY calls, then he mentioned SPY puts, then somebody else mentioned SPY calls right after that. So here is what the SPY tries to do to you. It goes wildly up, and you're like, okay, or it shows you a pattern where it's turning around and you're like, I'm going to hop on this because you could have seen a pattern at the end of the day, like 2 o'clock, 2:30, where it looked like recovery. And then what did they sell? What did they do right at the end of the day? They went. So my thoughts on the SPY in this market with manipulation, especially when you end a quarter, okay? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the next quarter end is going to be the year end. So you're going to see manipulation at year end as well. I will not be trading the last 2 weeks of the year. Just so everybody knows.
This is my first trading.
I won't touch it. All right. I'm still going to have a platform. I'll tell you what I think of the market, but there's going to be so much manipulation. So here's what I'm saying about the SPY.
As an accountant,
now you're wrong at first. You buy something, you're down 20%. Do not fret. As soon as you decide you're wrong and you're going to scare sell and reverse your position so you can make money, it's going to change course 180 degrees. So for those people that are very quick with their fingers, they scare sell, they're down 40%. They enter into a new position. By the time they look at it, they're down 40%. So just understand, if it's going against you, say to yourself, Matt said nothing just goes down or nothing goes straight up, because you're going to be correct. Your timing was wrong. And if you scare sell or you choose not to average down, now if you're way out of the money or your options expire, today's what, Thursday? If your options expire Thursday, don't average down at 3 o'clock if the options expire at 3:55 or 4 o'clock. Don't do that. But if your options go out a week and you're wrong about the SPY or you're wrong about UVXY, even if you play the calls or the puts, it doesn't matter. It's right now, the market is so turbulent. Give yourself a chance to be right. That's what I would leave everybody with. I would say give yourself a chance to be right. And if you're over levering yourself, then that'll bring out the emotion and you might scare yourself for a loss. If you had one lesson, besides for taking profit, because you already cleared out your account.
Definitely do that.
What would your lesson be? Do you have a lesson for everybody?
Absolutely. I think it's patience. Sometimes not trading is the best thing you could do. If you're unsure about which direction it could go, that means you shouldn't do it either, right? So patience on getting into something and also exiting. A lot of the mistakes I've made, even recently, had to do with paper handing, right?
Yeah.
Like not giving it enough time to do what it needs to do. I sold some Roku calls today because I was like, there's no way Roku's going to go up. I mean, sold some calls I bought, and lo and behold, each one of them would have been in the money had I waited.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So say to yourself, and I know you've done this before, I'm giving myself a timeout. I'm not going to trade say you're not going to trade tomorrow. I'm not going to trade on Friday. Does that mean you're not looking at the stock market at all? Or will you just zoom in? Hey, let me see what I'm missing. Oh, it's all 500. Will you do that? Or is it a complete timeout for yourself? Like a mental break?
I've done both. I've done both where I say I'm not trading and I look. Yeah. But if I'm actually taking a break from it, then I don't look at all because there's no temptation there. I'm not going to.
Have you ever traded after you said I'm not going to trade?
Absolutely. I did that this week. I wasn't supposed to trade today. One of the lifetime members was like, yeah, right. I wasn't. What? I said I wasn't going to do it because I thought the rest of the week was going to be bearish, right? And I was like, well, on Wednesday, I'm buying at the max, I'm buying puts on everything. And then Wednesday night, the futures went up and I think this 10-year went down. And after I was like, oh, it's obviously going to be bullish. No, I don't know.
Well, that's just trickery. Again, if less than 1% of the market action happens pre and post market, right? Now you're an institution with a lot of baggage that you want to unload. What would you do? I would make it look like the market was manipulated and looking strong. I'd be like, buy shit pre-market, spend $10 million. But boss, I thought we were going to sell everything. Don't worry. Spend $10 million. Spend it the right way. Then the market opens and it spikes open, right? And what do? We unload $10 billion worth. They unload $10 billion worth of stock, and they use $10 million to manipulate the market. So there is manipulation going on, yes.
Absolutely. And you can watch things go up and down, but literally if you have a plan, you're going to see a spike at open, right at open, sell. Don't hold it. Sell it and rebuy it back 10 minutes later. Literally. Don't do that to yourself. UVXY. Well, you know what's weird about the UVXY? I think people automatically think that it spikes when the market's bad. And that's not necessarily the case. It's a volatility index. So it can go down even when it's a bad market or even when it's a good market. So it's just if it's calm, if people are calm.
It's the violent swings that make the UVXY spike. So even in a calm market. Now, you are seeing inflow for 4 straight days, 5 straight days. I don't think it's spiking. Now, people are preparing for the end of the world. Real quick, because there's some talk right now after hours. One of my stocks, one I own 100 shares of. So I'm pissed because I think I just lost $400 right now.
Did it go down?
Yeah, IRNT. Somebody mentioned it. It's down 24% after hours, which puts it probably around $13.10. No, it's at $13 flat right now, or $12.95. Now, here's the thing I just got alerted. Reddit is talking about it right now, and they're talking about if it should be a play tomorrow. Should we jump in tomorrow? Let's see how it goes with volume. So I don't know. Reddit's talking about it. I'm going to buy some more positions because here's my strategy for that one, right? I like it. I don't know. I spent $2,000. I'll spend another, $1,295 as soon as we're off this live session. I will have 200 shares. In fact, I will have 199
I ended up with 101 shares. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy. Because I've got lucky with Tesla or a company like that before, where I've had options that are worth 50 cents all of a sudden be worth $9. And for some stupid reason, I just kept buying them when they were 50 cents. Probably like you're like the candy bar on sale. I'm like, 50
I
cents?
mean, at one point, the
Thousand of
option was
those.
$13.
Again, I got lucky. I've had circumstances. Let me just share in all transparency. I've had circumstances where I bought like 300 contracts at like 20 cents. I'm like, oh, these are great.
I
And
paid less than that, by the way.
What happened?
Right. I paid like 13 cents or something. I think it's worth 18 cents right now.
I got you.
If it goes up to like $1, I'm buying tacos.
So I'm gonna buy more of those for like 10 cents tomorrow. Which contracts are it? Because if I can get it 30 cents cheaper than you, and then you can come on and tell a story and how you crushed it, I would love to feel like, yeah, I crushed it by 4 extra %.
Speaking of anything that has an 8 in front of it, you can crush it, I think. So I wanted to ask you though, what did you think about what happened with Bed Bath & Beyond today?
Well, I didn't see what happened to the stock. I saw it was off 24%, and someone was saying, okay, we should buy calls. And then it was off 28%, and it finished off 22%.
Yeah.
And there was heavy inflow, right? There was heavy inflow. They were buying it.
Yeah, they were buying it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I'm looking at the volume of 52 million and the volume of people selling, and I'm not convinced yet. I mean, it's definitely one of those stocks that people could say it fell too hard. But if the market struggles and if
they're going out of business, right? Like, so why are you?
Listen, you got me there because see, here's the unfortunate thing. If you like, the Gap was off 8% as well today. All right, but if you like the Gap, Foot Locker, Nike, Bed Bath, I don't know, Victoria's Secrets, any type of retail chain, if you like AMC, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, the airlines, they all move together. They're all Dow related. So somebody says to me, hey, you think Bed Bath will recover? It looks good. And I know like a lot of people like to buy stuff after it falls off a cliff because they get that quick movement there. I'm probably going to be wrong on this one, but I would stay away from it. I don't know.
I bought puts. I'm not going to lie. I bought puts.
You bought puts? Okay. See, that's what I would do. I would buy puts thinking it's not over yet. But I'm going to tell you, I try and stay away from those stocks because as logical as it seems, I must be on the wrong side of every one of those trades. Which is why you never hear me talking about like, oh, this fell off a cliff. I just bought 10,000 shares because the next day someone would be like, you're an idiot. You just lost $20,000 because it fell harder. But the same is true. They had that Oprah or Orpheus. It was like a biotech stock. It got cut in half one day, then got cut in half. OPHZ, something like that. It went from $30 to 12. People bought it up to 17. And then the last time I looked, it was $6. So again, sometimes it takes more time and I don't have the patience. You mentioned patience. I don't have patience. You have patience.
Got a little, just a little, not a lot though.
Hey, what do you think the market's going to do tomorrow?
Oh my goodness, I think it's going to be okay. So the UVXY question, I actually do think that even if it has spikes or whatever, I think it's going to come down. I don't think that people are in a rush to do anything. I think it's going to be kind of slow. And then there are going to be certain stocks that are volatile. The rest of it's going to be like nothing. You're going to wish it went up. You're going to wish it went down. Calls are going to burn. Puts are going to burn. It's just going to be nothing. Okay. And then there are going to be certain ones that are just like, they're going to tank or skyrocket.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't even really looked tomorrow because I have trackers and I have stocks and I didn't know the market was getting as beat up as it is today.
The Dow was down that much. I was like, wow.
I mean, one of my stocks was up 6%. Another one of my stocks, 3.5%. Another one of my stocks, 8.5%. I mean, LAC, right? Lithium
company. I saw that this morning.
Right. I got it with like 65% profit. I could have got like over 100% profit.
Paper-handed. 50%. I was out. I was like, bye. Yeah.
And just other stocks. I mean, it just they were all up. Sorrentino Therapeutic was up close to 3%. TDOC was up 0.7%. Twilio was up 2%. Las Vegas Sands was up 0.5%. AI was up 2%. So all of my trackers, stocks that I like, they were all up today. Stocks that I've been talking about on YouTube, most of them up today. And I'm thinking, like, was the market? How much did the market fall? Canadian Solar. Remember, I was talking about Canadian Solar all yesterday. I've been talking about it for days straight. And Canadian Solar was what? Up 3.5% today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and Piedmont Lithium, it was up 6% yesterday, up 3.5% today. Blue Apron, which I spoke about, was up 14% today. I don't like Blue Apron, but 14%. I mean, it's crazy.
But the
market was bad, right? I mean, am I not crazy? The market was down. 546 for the Dow and 63 for tech. So in the majority, okay, here's a question for you. If you had to guess, what percentage of stocks do you think went down today and up? Like knowing that it's usually like about 6,400. Let's see, we got 7,000. Okay, so there's 7,000 stocks. How many advanced? How many declined?
I'm gonna say that 63% decline.
63%. So that would be like, oh, I can't do the math there.
Sorry.
It's 4,000 versus 3,000. So it's like you're a little over. I think it's probably like 57%. Would that be about right?
See,
Damn close. Damn close.
Yes,
I would have guessed. I would have guessed numbers like that. Again, I know my trackers are mostly up, but I would have said if you give me a day where it's down like 500 and like 100 points, I would say it would probably be like 80% down. So it surprises me that actually like 44% of stocks were up today. Again, most of my trackers were up, so I get it. It makes sense. It's like playing pool. You know, I can't figure out how that works. Are you good at pool?
Yes, in my head. No.
Are you good at darts?
I like to play it, but I like to play darts, pool, and bowling, but I'm not that good.
Backgammon?
I'm more of a
What's your
tennis
best
player.
sport?
Tennis.
Tennis? Are you really good at tennis? I used to play tennis.
Yes, very
How
good.
good are you? Like really good? We could play tennis.
We went to, I
That
was
would be
state when I played, so you
went
know,
where?
state, you know, back in high school. You know, people say back in high school when I played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We should definitely play tennis because I was ranked in the East when I was growing up too. In the 14s and the 16s, I stopped playing. I played 1 year in college. That's interesting. Now that would make for a good video. And you know how many people? Let's get one more estimate. Then you'll answer your Bitcoin trap. If you were to guess, and we surveyed everybody on the platform, how many people are rooting for Love and how many people are rooting for Matt? What do you think that percentage would be? Because I already have a number in mind.
I would say it'd be 97-3.
Okay, because I was thinking 88, but it's nice that you put yourself so high up. Oh, you mean I would get 97?
No, I didn't mean that.
I didn't think so. I would put you 88, and the only reason I would get 12 is because half of those 12 felt bad for me. So I'd probably get 6%. It'd be like 94-6, but 6 people would feel bad.
And then if you won, then you cheated. So we all know, like, come on, like, let's be honest. Thank you.
92, Carlos, yeah. And Carlos is not one of the 2 people. We know that. And I would be one of the 2 people because my vote counts. So
no,
it would definitely be Mr. Bacon. No. Mr. Bacon, he always likes me. He calls me Matt with 1 T, but he would root for me.
But if I make
we'll have that tennis showdown. We'll film it. I'll go to New Jersey. Carlos, can we do something like that? Of course, right? Somebody asked about Bitcoin.
Yes.
So
Chris,
before I'm going to let you answer Bitcoin. Before we do that, we're doing a Felix challenge. Felix asked a question yesterday about a small account. How do you trade options? I transferred $105 into an E-Trade account. It should be free on Tuesday. If you're following on the platform, and I'll probably make a video about it for YouTube, I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to pretend that nobody can day trade. So you have to plan ahead. Like you can't. We'll see an option. It'll be $1.10 or $1.50. And I'll say, you know what? We're going to offer $1. If we get it today, great. If we don't, we don't. And if we get it, at least everybody else can join in. And I'll say, if we buy it for $1, we're going to turn around and we're going to ask you $1.40 right away to make 40%. So everybody will know the strategy already, and that way they can follow along. And it'll only be like one trade every other day. I want to show you, and I know you know this. We can draw a $100 account. Where do you think we can finish by the end of the year if we do it right?
End of the year?
Yeah, if you have $100 and we have what? Basically 3 months, a little under 3 months, 2.5 months.
2.5 months being cautious. Wow. I'd say that $800 would be great. I'd say 22 would probably be my goal.
$3,200. That's where we're going to finish. And that was me being kind to myself. I'm probably
I would have been like, oh, we can flip it.
Yeah. So that's going to be what a great marketing ploy. $100. I'll make a video about it. It'll be 32 by the end of the year, which gives us about 10 weeks. It's all pre-planning. Okay. And this is, I'm so excited. Now I've got something to do because my schedule was just free for the next 2 months.
Oh, wow. I only have to, teach about 100+ students every other day. So it's pretty free. Yeah.
That's great. All right. So what's your Bitcoin thoughts? Because somebody did ask about Bitcoin. We talked about it and
we talked about it a lot.
I mean, it's just doing, I love the chart right now. I mean, here, let me just show everybody. That's the chart. You see the bottom chart? It's almost like a triple W. It's like every time they think it's going to sell off and they give it reason because the market's going to collapse because the dollar, who cares what it is? Fiat's doing this. The Europeans are doing that. China's cracking down. It does like this but it doesn't want to go down.
It doesn't want to fall below like 40.8. Like it just won't go lower.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's 41 would be like. I mean, when I see it under 41, it bounces to 41 so quick. But it doesn't like to go above 43.6, which is where I've seen it. Every time I look, I make a prediction before I log on. I go, I wonder where Bitcoin is. And my number always goes 43.2, 43.1, 43.4. And it's always right there, like within $60. But that's not a game. They don't pay me for that. Yeah. If I got paid for that, like, hey, what's your prediction? And someone said at 9:06 p.m., I'd be like, it's going to be at 9:06 p.m. tonight, it's going to be $43,178. Somebody check for me because I'll probably be plus or minus $20. And you know what I'll win for that?
Nothing.
Nada.
Not even a cookie.
Nada.
Nothing. It's really bad.
Yeah, we saw that one, Carlos. We agree with Sarah. If you'd like to sell us some AMC at $30, I'd love. How much AMC would you buy at $30 right now?
Right now, I would probably buy options, and I would probably get 10.
Oh, Jeffrey, I would let. Love, do you have a feeling on Shiba? I do.
I have invested in Shiba before. I was actually in it that 1 week or 1 day where it like
went up probably
like crazy. Like it was insane. I'm gonna be rich. No.
I dislike Shiba. I think it's probably the worst coin ever created.
Catalyst, so it still hasn't moved and it continues to eat your money.
Yeah, I just think it's going down. I wouldn't be in Shiba for the life of me. It's popular now, like Dodge, as someone's saying, and it'll fade away. Yeah, I mean, people can create new coins, but if you really want to invest in an altcoin, do your research. Find out ones that are involved with Ethereum and blockchain and things that could be a betterment to speed up whatever its purpose is. If it actually has a purpose that you can see, even if it's years from now, you're like, if that thought process works, it's going to
find out what it does. Like it should do something, right? And you find out what that coin actually does and its purpose, and then you compare them. I wrote a paper about Bitcoin a long time ago, and it's like not Bitcoin, blockchain. These coins have a purpose. Like each one does something, and so you
Here's
find
another strategy. The guy that created Ethereum, right? ETH. We'll talk about Fami real quick. He also created Polymatic, which is I think it's called Matic, MATIC.
I've invested in Matic before too.
Yeah, but I'm saying, it's like saying Elon Musk leaves Tesla and he starts a new company. You'd probably want to invest in that. I think Love's having some frozen problems, so maybe the weather in Jersey is not so great. I did see somebody just ask a question, Fami. So yeah, here's the thing on Fami, right? Somebody asked me this the other day, and I said at 23 cents per share, it was good. At 25 cents, it was good. At 27 cents, it was good. At 40 cents, and I don't know where Fami is right now. If I was going to guess, I'd say 37.6 cents. So let's see where Fami is. F-A-M-M-I. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? There it's F-A-R. Okay, it's at 46 cents. Yeah, I mean, there's buying. So, but yeah, they did an offering. I mean, it just increased by 100% literally in the past like 3 trading days. So yes, it could technically go up another 100%, or it could fall back to like 30 cents. It depends on whoever's holding the shares. I see some other questions on the side. Love's kind of frozen. So how long does tech keep bleeding? See, that's the thing. I've been talking about this for 2 weeks straight since a week ago last Tuesday. As the 10-year goes up, and I think the 10-year will go to 2% before the end of the year, tech's going to keep bleeding. Now, it doesn't mean every single tech stock's going to bleed, because you might be in like Microsoft, one of the leaders, Netflix. So I think Love's trying to come back. I just think she's frozen for a bit. How high can TRIT go? I'm seeing a question there. I wanted to talk about this because there's so many misconceptions on TRIT. And hopefully Love will come back to us so we can finish off. It closed at $5.85. Now, I said the other day when it was at $6.30-something cents, it will be under $6 to close the day. It finished at $5.96 because of low volume. It has 300,000 shares traded today. 300,000 shares of a $6 stock is $1.8 million. When I used to trade on Wall Street, my bank would give me $10 million to make a stock look like poop, to make a stock be manipulated down. So until there's continuous buying, and I said it that day for TRIT, T-R-I-T, I said if you have a million volume the next day, the next day, the next day, yes, it's going to hold 650. It'll be shorted. It'll push till 7, whatever it is. Now people said short squeeze. No, there's only 4 million shares shorted for TRIT right now. It used to be 9 million. So you people are waiting on this off someone's information. It's not true anymore. No, it's still a good stock. They're still doing stuff, but they were supposed to have earnings out last November, and now we're going up to this November. So something's obviously wrong. Now they could surprise with earnings, and if you see that happen, it could shoot up from 6 to 8 to 10 to 12. That's when I would jump in. If I see it shoot up to 8 and hold 8, I'm going to shoot up even higher. All right, let's do like 2 more questions. I think we lost Love, unfortunately. Maybe she'll join us again, but this was great today. I call it ending my week because I don't do YouTube tomorrow, but I think we're going to try and drop something maybe tomorrow. We'll see what we get up to. Sava, $62, a high of 63, a low of 60. So it probably dipped to 60 in the morning. Volume was extremely light. So for 4 straight days and for 9 straight days, there was inflow, and it went from $44 to almost $70 or even $71. And now for the last 3 days, it has lighter flow, and it's now at 62. So I think, yeah, if I'm reading the chart right, it bottomed at 60 today. I'd be looking for a dip tomorrow morning. So Sava likes to dip in the morning. So if you see a dip to like $60.90, you plan ahead for your options. You buy them that, and then you sell them for 40% profit. Oh, it has a new price target of 700. 700? Yeah, that's probably a typo, right? $70 perhaps. I don't know. What do you think of Sava? Are you there, Love? We should just leave Love here. We'd get so many views. They'd be like, look, she's frozen. All right. Listen, I appreciate everybody tuning in for us. This is great. Love, you were the best. Now you're unfrozen. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're definitely going to do something again in the future. I appreciate you. Love was one of the first lifetime members. It was crazy. She had the light bulb moment and just knew this was a good thing. She's wonderful. I had a light bulb moment with her. I knew I wanted to have her on. She's 3rd time on, and she's so great. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Love. I know you're frozen. Signing out. Have a good one, everybody.